Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to We Are Tottenham TV. Unfortunately, Jacob's not available. Neither is the Irish Hotspur, so you're lumbered with me tonight. Kate from Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs. I will be holding the fort. I have with me my husband, who's always with me, Jimbo, also from the channel, and we will be joined by a couple more guests shortly. But Jimbo, first game in Europe for Spurs tonight. How are you feeling?
Yeah, good, excited, really excited. I've been really looking forward to this all day. The day's gone slow. Well, I've been so looking forward to it.
I know. It feels like it's taken all. Well, I was going to say all day to get here, but all month to get here. Spurs are back where they belong. We're back in Europe. We're looking forward to seeing the lineup. There has been a bit of leaked news. I'm going to post it into the chat and bring it up as a comment. Apparently, the Spurs Watch Twitter page have said that Paul O'Keefe has leaked that the Tottenham team tonight is going to be Vicario, Gray, Dragusin, Mickey van der Ven, Davis Basuma, Bergvall, Sarr, Son, Johnson, Solanke. I'll be surprised if it's this lineup, Jimbo. I don't know what you're feeling.
No, I'm not surprised. There was a lot of talk of Forster going in goal, and I said to you, there's no way on this planet that he will play Forster in this game. It's too important. It's Angie's first European game for Spurs, and it's Spurs' first European game for well, this is the second season. They was out last season. So, no, not surprised at all with Vicario. Glad Gray's in.
Obviously, can I just say this isn't confirmed by Spurs official yet. This is just something that's been put out on Twitter by Paul O'Keefe. So we will await the actual final lineup. But I mean, I'll be delighted if Vicario's back in goal. I don't trust Forster. We've got Jose as well here from LTL Cockerel. Listen, before we carry on, first of all, smash the likes and subscribe to this wonderful channel. Big up to Petrosi, who has become a new YouTube member. Also, please like and subscribe to my channel, Jose's channel, and Bobby K's when he comes on as well. It all helps. And whether you agree with us or not, we're all Spurs fans, so it's good to subscribe to everybody. But Jose, I hope you're doing well today. Are you feeling good now Tottenham are back in Europe?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So first of all, good evening, Kate. Good evening, Jim. And good evening, everyone in the chat. Yeah, I look forward to every game that Tottenham play, but Europe has a special place as well because when we're not in it, it's a poorer place. When we are in it, it's a much, much richer place. And as supporters of the club, we want to see ourselves test ourselves in Europe. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. Regardless of who the opposition is, I'm always looking forward to it.
Jose, you look nervous when you first come on the screen. Are you nervous for tonight?
Nah.
You're not.
He's never nervous.
Nah.
Jose's never nervous. I did say that this not been sort of confirmed by Spurs yet, but there is leaking information on the internet that this is going to be the team, which is a lot stronger than. I mean, I was convinced that Forster would start in goal, and I was dreading that moment. I mean, do you expect this to be right? Are you thinking there might be more changes than this, Jose?
If that's the lineup, it's not as strong as what I would have said for tonight. I picked the team earlier and it was stronger than that. For me, at the end of the day, we've got players that we want to see play. I know people are looking to see Bergvall, looking to see Gray, Mikey Moore, and people like that. And it's just getting that balance in that. When are you going to put them in? When are they going to get a chance? But with the new format now for the Europa League, I want to finish in the top 8. I don't want to play an extra 2 games where you qualify between 9th and 24th and you got to play the playoff. I want to play the 2 games less. I want to qualify out of right. And in order to do that, you need to keep picking up 3 points in this competition. So for me, it's imperative that we win tonight. We get that 3 points. So I'm not surprised that we're going as strong as this, but I would have gone stronger.
Okay, well, as I said, as soon as the squad comes out, the team for tonight, then we will bring it up. Obviously, Qarabag, they were the team that we faced in the 2015-2016 campaign, and it was where Sonny scored his first 2 goals at the old White Hart Lane. We did win that game, and last year, Qarabag made it to the last 16 before being knocked out 5-4 on aggregate by Leverkusen. So they are by no means are they mugs, you know, they've got to this on merit. Jim, are you worried that Tottenham fans might be getting a bit carried away and sort of disregarding the quality of this team?
Get carried away? Tottenham fans never. I think we beat them 3-0 and 1-0 if I'm right.
I think it
3-1, 1-0.
Oh, 3-1, 1-0.
3-1, 1-0
over the 2 games. No, we should get carried away. Why not? That's what football's about. It's about getting carried away, enjoying it, getting behind your club, and believing that they're going to slaughter the other team. So no,
I like it.
I think we should enjoy ourselves.
I like it. Bobby K's here. Hope you're well, Bobby K. Good to see you.
Good day, good day. What's happening?
What's happening? Well, we're just trying to get ourselves pumped up, ready for the game tonight. But I was just saying that Qarabag made it through to the last 16 last year, only being knocked out by Bayer Leverkusen who won 5-4. So it's a tight game. Do you think we are underestimating our opposition tonight?
100%. 100%. From the stuff, but you know what? This is what we do, though. And as far as I'm concerned, this is what you should do. If you're a damn Spurs fan, you should expect to win every single game. If you're truly behind your club, every single game, and this is, I get called deluded for it. I don't care. I love it. Bring it on. Captain Delulu. Damn right. Every single game, I'm going to assume we're going to win. Every single game, I think we're going to take it to them. Every single game, I think we're going to walk out of there as victors, be it Real Madrid or Quagenberg. But you look at them, and I just happened to take a look. They're number one in the Azerbaijan League. They're 5-0-1. So they're not a pushover team. And let's face it, we're Spurs, man. We like to make shit difficult for ourselves.
Exactly.
So I don't think it's going to be a walkover. I don't think it's going to be 97-0, like some people have said. I personally think it's going to be a lot more conservative, but I know we'll get into predictions later, so I won't say mine yet. But I do think it's going to be a lot cagier than what people are expecting. But as I'm still behind my boys, I think that I really think that Coventry last gasp win kind of did inject something into us, and we saw a lot better performance against Brentford. Although we're not right exactly where we want to be at 100% level yet, but we're seeing the progression, and that's I'm pumped for today. I'm looking really happy, and we're gonna get it done.
I like it. I like the optimism. And what about you, Jose? I mean, I'm sure I'm not alone in saying that we don't watch the Azerbaijan League very often, so I can't speak from seeing Qarabag play. And I know that's not their name, by the way. But what do you think about tonight? Do you think there's a chance it's a potential banana skin?
It's like with any cup competition, it depends on the teams that are in it and how serious they're going to take it. We know that we've gone pretty serious. If this is the lineup that Paul O'Keefe has said, then we've gone pretty serious. Not as serious as I would, but pretty serious. Yeah, quite right. In the Azerbaijan League, they lost their first league game and they've won the next 5 on the bounce. But then when I look at their other results, because they played in the Champions League qualifiers and they played Ludogorets of Bulgaria first, who have recently been in the Champions League. And on paper, I thought Ludogorets would beat them. And Qarabag lost the home leg 2-1, but then went and beat Ludogorets 7-2 away to qualify for the following round. And obviously, they've gone out to I don't know, the name is Dynamo Zagreb. They went out to Dynamo Zagreb 5-0 in the qualifiers on aggregate. And that's why they've now dropped into the Europa League. And we all know that Zagreb were beaten on the first game by Bayern Munich 9-2. So it all depends on what lineup they stick out. For some people, last night we saw some strange results. I mean, Porto lost last night. They were expected to win. They've lost last night already. Man United only got a draw against Twente. They were expected to win as well. So it's not an easy competition, and it depends how serious you're going to take it. I don't see anything other than a win tonight for Tottenham. We're at home. I'm really happy that Vicario's in goal, because I did say in a stream I did earlier, for me, don't play Forster, play Vicario. Vicario is finding himself. Vicario is coaching, is being coached, and to try and iron out some issues that he had last season. And if you keep swapping and changing him out the side all the time, then he's going to get no consistency to adapt and bring these changes to his game. So I'm glad Vicario's starting in goal tonight, but I can see nothing other than the Tottenham win. We are at home. This is not on a home and away league. You're going to get 4 home games, 4 away games. Tottenham just need to get the points in the bag nice and early. So when it comes to the last 2 games of the qualifiers, we're not struggling and scratching for points. We're in the top 8 comfortably, and we've qualified.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, let's be fair. We don't know for sure Vicario is playing, but if he is, I will feel a lot more comfortable than if Forster was playing. Before we go more into tonight's game, I've got to touch on, obviously, the draw last night for the Carabao Cup. Tottenham got the easiest draw, obviously. Manchester City at home. I mean, Jimbo, I thought it'd be Chelsea. I had a feeling we'd get Chelsea, but I should have known it'd be Man City. What's your thoughts on the draw?
Well, you said to me last night before the draw, who do I want to get? And I said, what did I say to you? I don't care. We're Tottenham. We can beat anybody, and we are a cup team. And I'm not scared of anybody. I'm not. So Wigan City have got to come to us. We're at home. So let them come. That's what I say. It doesn't bother me. We got City, not at all. We've beat them a lot. So
that lineup's been confirmed, by the way. It is the lineup. It is the
that
lineup.
Confirmed? Yeah, I saw in the chat. People are saying the lineups are out now. So
okay, let's get this up on the screen.
I did say to you, Kate.
Oh, it's fun. It was in the. Okay.
So we have Vicario in goal. So yes, Jim, you were right. I thought Forster would play, but Jimbo called it.
And
then
Werner,
we've got
I said he wouldn't be in.
Gray playing at the back again, which is a shame because we all want to see him in midfield. Dragusin, Van der Ven and Davis. Then in midfield, Basuma comes back into it, Sarr and Bergvall with Johnson, Solanke and Son. So we've gone strong. We have gone strong. Jimbo, first thoughts on the lineup while I get up the picture so I can read the subs because I'm blind.
It's not far off the lineup that I said to you that would be out there. It's what I expected, Kate. I expected to see Bergvall in there. I expected to see Gray in there. I said to you that I thought he might start Mikey Moore, but I would imagine he's going to bring him on if we get the game tied up early. So yeah, it's practically what I expected. I would have been very, very disappointed if I would have seen Forster and Werner in there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at the subs bench. We have Forster on the bench as well as Austin, Porro, Udogi, Bentancur, Madison, Kulusevski, Moore, Werner, and Lancashire is on the bench as well. Jose, I know we did talk about it, but now it's out. It's confirmed. Are you a little bit disappointed that Mikey Moore's not getting a start?
In the team that I picked earlier on another show, I put Mikey Moore in to start. And I was happy on Saturday, and I did say on Saturday, for Saturday's game against Brentford, I said, look, off the bench, we need to see more. If he's going to come off the bench, more has to come on before Werner. And he did on Saturday. Yeah. At the end of the day, look, whatever's happened has happened. In my eyes, Moore is our future. Werner is gone after this season. I don't see him coming back to Tottenham. And what we need to concentrate while we've got Werner here, he's an employee of ours, gets treated accordingly. And if he's on form, fine. If he's not on form, then someone else plays. But for me, we've got to start seeing more minutes for Mikey Moore over Werner. I know they're two different players, but we've got to start giving more minutes to Mikey Moore.
I agree. I mean, Bobby, Daniel Coyes has said, other than Basuma for Bentancur, this is the same midfield three who struggled against Coventry. I would argue that I think Qarabag are actually weaker than Coventry, but how do you feel about the team selection?
That, and there's also, you look at who's behind them as well.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Mickey Van de Ven is there. So that alone makes that whole back line in midfield and forward line, entire stadium better. Because he's just that frigging fantastic. Mickey, you're God. I want to echo a little bit with what Jose was saying about Vicario. I think it's great that he's going to actually start this game. And not just the run of form kind of thing, the continuous play. You got to watch the confidence too. If all of a sudden he makes one mistake, he's had 3 or 4 solid games. He has one game where he's made a couple of mistakes, you pull him out. What kind of message are you sending the kid, right? So as we know, we're seeing it more and more where these players are becoming a little bit more sensitive in terms of how they're treated. And then they do react to the stuff that's happening with social media and stuff. So it's nice to see Vicario come in. Hopefully he'll put in a solid, actually, not hopefully. My boy's going to put in a solid performance because he's got Mickey in front of him. And it's going to be fantastic. In terms of the midfield, I think he's trying to find out what B team gels. This is the kind of same thing with the front three. It looks like he's settling on a front three finally. We've seen that mixed and matched a little bit. So if he's settling on it, I can understand why Moore is not starting. For me personally, like Jose, I would like to see Moore start and Sonny kind of be that impact sub later on. But it could be the other way around, right? Sonny could have the early impact. Moore could come on and add that extra punch when needed later on to put the nail in the coffin. So I look at my team and I'm behind every single one of them every time. So there might be players I don't like, but If that's the 11 that's going to be on the pitch right now, let's get it done, boys. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, Jimbo, obviously Johnson, 2-2, starting to look like he's getting his confidence in the squad. Do you think Ange has kept him in there because he's warranted his place? He believes in him, you know, and he thinks that he's going to carry on this scoring streak that he's on?
He obviously believes in him, Kate, because he keeps playing him. So he's seen something at the beginning of the season that maybe we wasn't seeing. He's seeing it in training. But I said to you, there is a player in there. It's just a matter of getting him out. And it looks like Angie's starting to do that. And the first few games I saw him, and last season when I saw him, he looked like a rabbit in the headlights. But the other day, I thought he was phenomenal, and he looked like a man on a mission, and that's what we want him to look like. You know, he was bought for 50 million, right? There must have been a reason he was bought for 50 million.
Yeah.
So,
look, I understand Leverkusen needed 2 injury time goals to get past them, but I still think we're on a different level to them. Big up to Kaylee Davis with a super chat saying she's happy clapping from sunny Seattle. Funny, I always imagine Seattle to be raining. I think it's because it's always raining in the movies. But I mean,
that's because all the movies are like rom-coms and they're supposed to be like
sad.
That's
they
play
exactly
up for
right.
a happy ending, right? So
that's right.
That's all that is. That's all that is.
Jose, obviously,
everybody likes a happy ending.
Yeah, exactly. Brennan Johnson's come in for a lot of criticism of late. I think he showed real character the last 2 games. He looked broken the game before last. I think the last game he looked a different player to me, and in the fact he had a little bit of swagger about him. Are you pleased that Angie's stuck with this guy?
I'm pleased. I'd be more pleased if the fans stuck by him. And apparently at the game, for people that went to the Brentford game, I was told that the people that were at the stadium said that the fans were right behind Johnson for the whole game and were singing Johnson his name and everything before he even got his goal. And at the end of the day, I mean, I play football, but not in front of 63,000 people. And if I played football in front of 200 men and their dog, or 200 people and their dog, you can hear when people think you're having a stinker and that, because they're from the touchline, you hear all the heckling. So imagine 63,000 pods going at you. Do you know what I mean? So the fact he must feel it within himself, the stadium, you know, when people aren't behind him or behind the team, he feels it. However, he also feels it when the 63,000 are behind him, and they were against Brentford, even before he scored. So, you know, that's going to give rise to his game as well. Yeah, he's been picked tonight. Okay, I'm happy that he's been picked. I would have preferred the front 3 I selected earlier on another show was Son, Solanke, and Moore. So Johnson's in instead of Moore. But I'm hoping, and what we do hope, one is that we get no injuries tonight.
Yep.
And 2, that regardless of who we've picked to start, which is strongish, we've got players on the bench as well. So get the game done as soon as possible and give minutes to other people. That's what we'd like in an ideal world. So, you know, at the end of the day, I just wish whatever happens tonight, I will win, but I want us to remain injury free, because last year we had a bad toss of the coin on injuries, and you know we've already got Odegaard out, got Richarlison out already, so that's 2. We don't want any more because our squad is quite thin, and we don't need any more. So for me, let's get through the game. 3 points, no injuries.
Yeah, I agree. And of course, I mean, Sienna's just says Sonny needs to rest. We've got Sonny out. Bobby, do you think it's so that we try and win the game, like Jose said, win it early so that we can sort of get on some of the younger players and the fringe players to take over?
First, I got to just say big up to Sienna Kang. That's my sister, obviously. Actually, it's not. We're not related at all. We just have the same last name.
I thought you were telling the truth.
No. My sister's name's Rita. I just saw the last name. I haven't seen that one before. Big up. Maybe we're related. Who knows? At the end of the day, if you don't start incorporating the fringe players, how are they going to progress and get better? We are now looking to build towards the future. And if we're going to stick with this manager and commit to a project, then that project needs to be basically supported from the foundation all the way to the top of the food chain. We're seeing a lot of youngsters that had come in. I know we've had other YouTubers say that it would have been nice, instead of buying only youngsters, maybe buy a bit of experience, bit of youth, kind of incorporate the 2 and everything. Doesn't matter really. It's all in the pots. Where we are right now is what matters. We have some youngsters. We got to get them in the squad. We got to get them up to speed. We got to get them confident. We got to let them know that we do support them, that they can get the job done. And we just got to not do what we did with Johnson and Dele Alli before that, where we just absolutely batter these guys to the point where they're questioning wanting to play a game they've played since they were children and are professionals at. None of us here are ever going to get paid to play football. Well, maybe Jose. I've seen him run. That man's like a unicorn on the field. It's beautiful. But I know me and Jimbo ain't running nowhere, right? But Kate, maybe you got a shot. I don't know. But like I said, at the end of the day, these kids are professionals. There are expectations on their end. They need to be mentally stronger as well, which is, I know, the argument from the other side of the fence. But I think that we just got to get behind these kids, support them through thick and thin. If it's consistent, then that's on the manager. That's what his job is, to bring these guys back into form and kind of figure out the little tweaks that are going to make them better as people and as players. So 100% incorporation of the youth is needed in my eyes.
Yeah.
That's what we have. What's the option? What if before somebody sits here, well, we can't play them. What's the option? If you can tell me what else we could do, by all means. Like Jose said, no injuries, get out of here clean, get all the points. I would say I'd like to see at least 3, maybe 4 players score hat tricks. I'm not asking for too much. Come on, you Spurs.
Exactly that. Look, over 500 in. Please, everyone, smash a like for Ben and Sim so he knows that it hasn't been an absolute disaster class by me hosting the show. I'd appreciate it.
Okay, we're here to support you. Remember what I said? We're a team. Don't worry. In the back room, then we'll talk about how you. But for now, it's all love, baby.
Jenny, we have actually played Qarabag before. That's how we started off our 15-16 campaign, but we did beat them. So that's a good sign. I might be a little bit.
Yeah, but if we're going to go back to that, then just out of curiosity, what position were they in then?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
If anybody in the chat, like Kate said, you said there's over 500. If anybody could please, if you get a moment, if you could just Google, see when we played them last, where they were sitting in their league. Because right now we know they're in first. They're 5-0-1 or 5-1-0. I remember they have 5 wins. I can't remember if it's a draw or a loss to add on to that, but they're obviously looking well for the league that they're playing in right now. But I'm curious, if we're going back that 8 years, where were they when we played them then? Because it might be a completely different animal. Yeah,
interesting point. I would say Sarr hasn't impressed me much this season. I don't want to pick holes in anybody particular. Go on, Jose, have you got the answer?
Qarabag won the league by 22 points that year.
Wow.
I think they're the only team in the Azerbaijan.
I was going to say, are they consistent champions of that league? Okay? You see that they're always winning, eh? Okay.
Yeah, they won the following year as well in 16-17. They won 17-18.
Wow, they've won it for the past 11 years.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Daniel just put it 11 years straight. They've won the league. Okay, so they're the best in that out of the food chain from that side. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what they bring.
Yeah, exactly that. As I was going to say,
there might be that mentality. Sorry, Kate. There might be that mentality coming from their side that, hey, we're great here.
Yeah.
Now we got to go under the bright lights in the big stadium around more fans, kind of thing, and national spotlight and everything. But they've played in European competitions before, so technically they have been in these situations as well. It'll be interesting. I think it's going to be a lot closer than what we were expecting, but we're still going to smash them.
Yeah, I mean, I believe
we do, baby, right, Jimbo?
Yeah, Jimbo always thinks we're going to win.
Of course, we're going to win.
I do believe Ben Kaufman said that it's on Disney Plus. I believe, is that right?
Yeah, it's Disney Plus. I don't know whether it's on
Disney
TNT.
Is streaming. Or is that in English?
Disney Plus. Someone's saying it's on Paramount Plus as well. Andrew Dean says he's in the US and it's in Paramount Plus as well.
So there are a few places to watch it. I was going to say the only concerning thing for me in the midfield is Papa Mate Sarr. I don't think he's looked his normal self so far this season, but I suppose, Jimbo, this is quite a good game to bring him in to try and build his confidence.
Yeah, he hasn't been his normal self, has he? No. I think he's been quite non-existent in games this season. So, yeah, I mean, he's obviously sticking him in to liven him up a bit. So against a lower team, he might be a bit better. But he was in against Coventry, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was, and he wasn't very good in that either. But look, we know he can play football, so I'm not worried. It's not like it's Werner in there. No disrespect to Werner, but he's a better footballer than Werner. So we know he can play football, so he's in, so we back him.
Yeah. I mean, Jose, is there anyone in that lineup that you feel a little bit nervous about? You're muted.
You have to unmute yourself, big guy.
Sorry.
That's all right.
No, looking at the lineup, within their own right, they are all first-team players, aren't they? Really.
Yep.
Apart from Bergval was a first-team player at his previous club. He's now come to us. He's in the first-team squad, but he's yet to cement his place. But within their own right, they're all first-team players, aren't they? So, at the end of the day, we've got to make changes. We don't, because we're not part of the inner circle. We're not part of the coaching team. We don't know when players are in their red zones and in their green zones, and when they need to have a bit of a break. And and they've got all these contractions attached to them that give you all the data analytics and what they do. And they've obviously gone with a team that they feel is going to get the result, or starts the game and gets the result for us. So, look, we've got quality on the pitch. We have got quality there on the pitch, and we have got quality on the bench.
Yeah.
We should just win the game. End of. Just win the game. Now, I'll be honest, I take a 1-0 victory the same as I take a 5-0 victory. For me, yeah, as fans, we all want to see the big gloss and the glorious smashing someone to smithereens on the pitch. But for me, I think the important thing is to get through this game, as I said, unscathed and pick up 3 points, because in this one, it's not like you're playing home and away and the winner over 2 legs goes through. You need to pick up points, and that's what we need to do.
Yeah.
Rashid, thank you for joining us for the last 30 seconds, because if you were earlier, that's exactly what we did, is give them a lot of credit and talk about how they're number 1 in the league and that we shouldn't be writing them off as easily as we're. But hey, appreciate you joining. Remember to hit that like button.
Exactly. I don't think any of us have underestimated them, but I think we're basically saying that as Tottenham, we should have enough to beat them. But Bobby, anyone that you worry about? Obviously not Mickey van der Ven, because you adore
He actually
him.
is the only one I'm worried about. I just don't want that beautiful face getting touched. I don't want that amazing physique getting hurt. I don't want to see him touch the ground at all, other than it's just his cleats as he glides by people like the magnificent, beautiful beast that he is. And it just goes in. Oh, man, brace from somebody else put in earlier that game, that Qarabag game, Rajit here, Das Gupta, was saying that his last game against Qarabag was the brace for Sonny, and that was his White Hart Lane debut.
That's right, yeah.
So that was really cool. I like that. Because we see the emergence of another club legend in Mickey Moore. That, or if it's not Mickey Moore, then Rajit, I'd like to see maybe my boy Van de Ven pop a couple in. There is naturally concerns regarding players that we don't see play on a regular basis. There's always going to be that. But this is how we find out if they're any good or not. My only concern, if I'm going to say there is any kind of concern, would be, like you said, is Sarr, because he's just looked a little bit out of place. I don't even understand his positioning sometimes. His passing has been very errant. We'll use the fancy football words you guys like to use. But he's just been off a little bit. Not to the point where he's, beyond disappointing and, oh, my God, why is he on the pitch? What are we doing? But, yeah, I'd like to see him step up and take his opportunity today. And this is a good opportunity for him to step up and say, look, no, I do have something to offer here.
Yeah.
Because last year we know we were all in love with him. So we can't just absolutely discard him now, right? So I'm hoping he has a good game today.
Yeah, I agree. The only thing that worries me is perhaps the creativity side of it. Obviously, Bergval is a creative player, but Basuma and Sarr, I'm not sure if I'm convinced about that midfield. I think I can see 45 minutes, if it's not working, maybe a Maddison coming on in place of a Sarr, or even a Bentancur. I don't know if I'm the only one who feels that the creativity might be a bit short tonight.
I think you leave the creativity there to Bergval. Basuma will probably sit back and do more of the holding work and everything, and Sarr will probably hopefully be given a free license, because he's got a bit of pace and he can make those runs and follow up. If Johnson and Sonny get pushed out wide, then hopefully he'll follow up and add kind of like a false 9 role in there and support the players coming into the box. That's just my hope for him. But
yeah. VDV is indeed an endangered species and cannot be injured at any cost. I would love to wrap him in bubble wrap.
What a beautiful creature.
Yes, amazing.
Seeing somebody like that makes me believe in God. He's just perfect.
I was going to say something now, Bobby, and you've completely thrown me.
It's all about Mickey.
It was talking about Mickey. Obviously, Archie Gray makes it into the team, but again, playing in defence, Jose, he said he likes to be a central midfielder. Do you think he'll get his chance ever to get that chance to play in that role, or are we going to use him in defence?
It appears that for now that you've left, we as a club have now left Spence out of the Europa squad. Yeah. It obviously looks like Gray will do a lot more defensive. Gray is a midfielder who can play at right back, but he is essentially a central midfielder. He can play 6, he can play 8. He is a midfielder, but he's doing something at right back. Now, at the end of the day, if he gets him first team minutes, which it is going to get him first team minutes, and it gives him a chance to play with the others and to gel and be part of the team, then that's his way in. So I remember someone called Steven Gerrard starting at right back for Liverpool.
I've never heard of him. Was he any good?
No, he weren't that good at right back.
Because, not the guy that was the manager for that Rangers team or something?
he was always a midfielder, but he came into the side as a right back and played right back for so many games in his infant years. He played so many games at right back, and he went on to play and lift up trophies playing in the centre midfield position wearing a number 8. So, at the end of the day, I think Gray's a midfielder. He's just getting his minutes, learning his trade at Tottenham, or applying his trade at Tottenham at the moment in that position. And I'm sure that come next season, I'm going to say, right, that by the time next season comes, Gray will be selected as a midfielder rather than a defender.
Yeah, I think he won Player of the Year last year, playing right back, if I'm correct.
He played centre. He played midfield. He did cover at right back, Jim, for Leeds, but he was a midfielder for him as well. He played the 6 role for Leeds last year quite often.
Yeah. I mean, it would be nice, but I totally agree as well. He needs minutes, so I still can't quite get my head around the fact that we haven't got Spence in the Europa squad. But apparently, after January, if we're still in it, please God we are, you can make changes then, because obviously now Odegaard's injured. That's a spot that Spence could have used. I know what I was going to say. I was going to say, I'll come to you, Jimbo, first. Do you think we've seen Forster play his last game for Spurs after the other game?
I'll be surprised, Kate. You can see that Austin's on the bench, so I'll be very surprised if he gets. I think the only way we play him is if we get injuries. I really do. He looked like a man of his age against Coventry. So, I mean, he was a good keeper in his day, but I never want to see him in a Tottenham shirt again. And I would think that after the Coventry game, Ange will have his own thoughts on it.
Yeah, I mean, excuse me, I was really disappointed with Forster the other day. Bobby, do you think maybe it's time for him to hand the baton over and that'll be the last time we see him play for Spurs, or do you think we're still seeing him popping up every now and again?
With 4 competitions, it doesn't seem like Austin is the second choice. So I have that feeling that we might end up seeing him again. It'd be nice that he does stick around and hopefully add his wisdom of his years to the youth and make them a little bit better. We got Josh Keeley. Apparently he's lighting it up. And he's been doing well where he's out on loan. So there's a lot of good stuff coming back regarding him. I'd like to see him stick around more, maybe take on a proactive kind of coaching role. I would love to see Lloris Steyn kind of take that role on, but he chose not to, and he's gone now. In terms of what he can offer, I'm not going to harp on a guy that's close to 40 now. At the end of the day, he's put his time in and stuff. Right now, we're expecting him to basically be a loyal kind of servant to the club and be available when called upon. And I think that's all that's expected of him right now, and he will do that. So I don't think, unfortunately for you guys, it is going to be the last time we see him, unless we see all of a sudden Ange has a big change of heart and starts supporting Austin, or Austin starts doing something in training that turns Ange's head and gets him kind of thinking that maybe that guy should be my number 2. I just want to quickly touch on the Gray thing, if it's okay, with what Jose was saying as well.
Yeah, of course.
I appreciate the fact that he is going to right back, but I also think it's also Ange seems to be the kind of guy, oh, there he is, the legend himself. Big up, Brian. Enjoy the pub, man. I know he's down there right now. Enjoy Scotland Yard. sorry, with Gray, I'm just thinking Ange seems to be the kind of guy that wants transitional players that can play in multiple positions. So this might be him knowing that he's seen what he can do in that hold role, or maybe in an advanced center midfield role. Let's see what he can do and have him grow here, because I know you're solid here. I don't really need numbers here. I need numbers here right now. And like Jose said, maybe this year he'll be used there a little bit, build him up a little bit, especially in Europa. Then we can start shifting him around and adapting and start using these plays, because we've seen Bergvall now play off the wide position and in the middle, right? More been playing a cam role. He's played kind of a center forward kind of role the odd time. So I think maybe that's kind of the project, the agenda too, behind closed door. Who knows? But a player that can play more than one position is definitely great to have. So
yeah. I'm also Romero. Someone's asked where he is. He's actually suspended for this game, but I am interested to see Dragusin play alongside Van der Ven. I personally think Dragusin suits better playing alongside Romero, but to see him play alongside Van der Ven, I mean, Jose, can you see that working, that pair?
Of what, Dragusin and Van der Ven?
Yeah.
I honestly believe that Van der Ven can work with anyone. Or should I say, anyone can work with Van der Ven. Either way,
that's the right answer.
Either way, you look at it. Van der Ven's still young, right? And he's still playing and he's still learning his trade. But what I like about Van der Ven reminds me of football when I first started playing all them years ago, and it was about playing football from the back. Van der Ven looks comfortable on the ball. The more he plays, the more comfortable he gets on the ball, and making the right pass, the right decision, and stuff like that. That will all come with time. But he's a good footballing centre half, Van der Ven. Dragusin is a proper old school, up and at 'em, rough you up type of defender. So they should complement each other.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it'll be interesting to see, because we've seen the Dragon play alongside Christian Romero, alongside Kuti, but we've not seen this partnership. So it will be interesting to see this partnership tonight between them both. It'll be interesting, very interesting.
I'm not. I was going to say I'd like Radu Dragusin to rough me up anytime he liked, but I won't, because Jim's here. Oh, I think I just said it out loud. Jimbo, what about you? Van der Ven, Dragusin. We've got Davis there as well. Are you happy with the defence?
Well, I saw someone put in the chat about Davis. I think that we should remember that we would be out of the Carabao Cup if it wasn't for Davis.
Yes.
So he's still got it in him, and he does work his socks off. So I'm not unhappy to see him in there. He's been a great servant for us. And this is the type of game they should put him in, because he's going to struggle to get into the Premiership team. So I'm happy to see Davis in there for sure. And Dragusin and Van der Ven together, I'm expecting big things. I think in the future, Kate, them two are going to be our centre backs, because I think
Kuva, there's some real eye candy on the panel tonight, and big up to Kate too. Thanks, Coves. Thanks, Coves.
I think that Romero's going to end up at Real Madrid. So I think Dragusin and Van der Ven are going to be our pairing.
It's a pop-up show, man. Don't bring depressing stuff.
So I think
Captain Positive.
I think it's good that we're going to see him together. Yeah, and Colin's right. Davis gives 100% every time.
Yeah.
And look, could Davis be left centre back and Mickey left back?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask too, because they can transition both. So
exactly. I'm not sure. Someone's saying kickoff's been delayed. I assume this is because all the trains are up the wall.
All the trains are delayed. Someone jumped on the tracks. So
that's why they've gone up the wall, because they had to get off the track. Someone's jumped on the track, so the trains went up to the wall.
Makes sense. Detour.
Yeah, it says kickoff for tonight's fixture has been delayed due to severe travel disruption. Further information to follow. Someone put it in the chat. I've lost the comment now. That I think the key thing is tonight is to not concede early and not let the crowd drop.
Die down.
I don't want anyone's heads dropping. We need the crowd to be behind them. And you do think, like, for instance, the other day when we played Brentford, we went behind after 23 seconds or whatever it was. And the first thing I did was go, oh, God, not again.
But look how that turned out.
I know, but you don't want any drop. We need to keep the level high. I mean, Bobby, do you think that we could possibly, in any imagination, in any stretch, could we keep a clean sheet tonight?
Of course, Van de Ven's playing. What kind of madness is this? Mickey Van de Ven is on the pitch.
Okay.
You hearing me? The
Yes.
dragon is beside him, breathing fire on anybody that tries to come near them. Ben Davies, the Welsh legend himself. Okay,
another dragon from Wales.
Another dragon from Wales, buddy. Double dragons back there. You saw, see, Bill, I picked up what I was doing there. See, now he's on the trolley. But we're not known for clean sheets, and it's not really Ange's style to play that way. He's pretty much all gung ho, go for it. I'd rather win a game 5-4 than 1-0. That's his thing. But I do think as we kind of get a little bit more solidified and we see the players start playing together on a consistent basis, and like Gray's coming in now a little bit and Dragoshin's coming in, hopefully they'll be able to fill in the slots properly. And I think we can get it done. We're going to see some eventually. Is this the team that we're going to get again? It's definitely the opportunity for us. So why not seize it?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you were doing so well until the Ben Davies part, Bobby Kay. Look, no, I agree. Look, Ben Davies has been an immense servant for the club. I know I'm guilty of giving him some stick, but he does always give his all. And like Jim says, that's that way he got back to save us against Coventry was unreal. Jim, I don't know if you were talking to me or because you're muted, or whether you were talking to yourself.
No, my nephew was just leaving, so I was saying goodbye to him and his other half.
Okay.
Hi, nephew. Come on, you Spurs.
For anyone that hasn't seen the team, it is Vicario in goal, Gray, Dragusin, Van de Ven, Davis, then Basuma, Sarr, Bergvall, Johnson, Solanke, and our captain, as always, is Sonny. I've got to try and get the blimmin'. Oh yeah, is the subs are Forster, God, Austin, Pedro Porro, Udogi, Bentancur, Madison, Kulu, Moore, Werner, Lancashire. I always forget when I was talking about the creativity. I always forget we've got Kulusevski now. I don't know why, because I think now he's been playing in a 10. He's like a man possessed. He's a different player altogether for me. I've never ever been a Kulu fan. Anyone that watches my channel will know I've always been quite critical of Kulu, but I have always said I think there's a place in this squad for him, but I don't know where it is. And I think we found it. I mean, Jose, he's different gravy where he's playing in the middle now.
I felt that last year, if I said I felt that Kulu carried Tottenham for the first half of the season last season, up until January, Kulu had Tottenham on his back. Kulu was a battering ram in all our games. He was a hold-up player. He played wide, he played centre, he played anywhere you asked him, and he put a shift in every single game for Tottenham up until January. And then after that, for all the beatings that he took and for all the knocks that he was taking and stuff like that, it was obvious that his form was going to dip, and it dipped slightly after January. But Kulu, playing for Juve, played as a second striker, the 10 if you like. He played like that. So he's never been a wide player. I think it was horses for courses. When Conte brought him in, he played him out there because we had, it's the way to get him into the team was to play him out on the wing, and he did that. And for the first 6 months from when he first came, it was absolutely fantastic. You thought to yourself, we've got a dream winger. He's not a winger. He just is not a winger. And now that he's playing in the centre, and we did a show earlier, and someone said, is it by design, or did Ange know this all the time, or have we stumbled by design on having Bentancur or Biss as a 6, and then having Madison and Kulu playing as 2 8s or an 8 and a 10? Because it's worked. It'll be interesting to see whether they both play, and I hope they do, against Manchester United, because at the end of the day, with these two players that you've got, although we're talking about Kulu, I'm going to say Kulu and Madison at the same time. They're very, very good players in their own right. They've been professionals at this game for a number of years. They have skill, they have technique, they have understanding, they have all this because they've been professionals. But in the centre of the pitch, you need to have a bit of steel as well, and get your foot on the ball, put your foot in the tackle and that. I think Kulu does that already. Kulu gets stuck in, and I've been watching Maddison this season, and Maddison's making tackles. He's got glass feet, by the way, but he's making tackles, and I
Yeah.
think it's something that could work. Kulusevski in the centre is an absolute, well, it's a revelation for us because we all thought he was a winger, but if people knew him before he came to our club, centre is where he plays. But I think
Yeah.
Kulu, if anything, if Kulu has been the player. All right, we're only 5 league games in, all right, but for the 5 league games in, Kulu's been the player of the season in the first 5 games.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
In my opinion, that is. Sorry.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. According to reports, Qarabag haven't even arrived at the ground yet because of this disruption to the traffic and whatnot. So I'm not sure exactly how long the delay is going to be. Bobby, obviously you're going to say Van der Ven, I assume, but I mean, I would say that Kulu's been our most consistent player so far this season. I don't know what you think.
I think it's absolutely madness that you would think that I would say anything else. I'm a little bit disappointed with those. I do have to say, sorry, I can't really talk about Van der Ven right now because Mama K's here. Bye, honey. Have a good day at work. Love you. Take care. I would leave her for him and all. I love you, honey. No, we're not talking about Mickey. She don't like him no more. No. No, honestly, all jokes aside, Kulu's been fantastic. What a revelation he's been in the middle. It's so much better, so creative. The movement, he's actually looking, the head's on the swivel, ball this way, ball that way, ball through the middle. He's not a wide player. He can't even cross the ball at a long distance accurately. So, if anything, I'd like to see in the league the little bit of transition where Porro gets shifted up to that right wing and see Spence maybe right back or Gray play at right back. Or is Porro on the bench today?
Who?
Porro? Is he on the bench?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he gets thrown in up at right wing. We can see. But yeah, Kulu through the middle is just a completely different animal, and he's been fantastic there. Absolutely fantastic. 800 in the chat, only 154 likes. I say we go on strike. I say they have to hit the like button for Ben and Sim. If not for Ben, do it for Sim. If not for Sim, do it for Ben. And if not for them, do it for the children.
You should have done, if not for Ben, do it for Sim. If not for Sim, do it for Ben. If not for Ben, do it for Van der Ven. Because it rhymes.
Oh, that's great.
So,
what? Look at you dropping the bars, as the kids say. What? Kate's going to come on here next time with a do-rag and some new tattoos. Yo.
Yeah, come on. Jimbo, are you of the opinion that Kulu's been our most consistent player this year?
Well, I've been saying to you for a long time what Bobby just said, that I'd like to see Porro up the wing. I've been saying that to you, and Kulu in the middle. I said it last season. I think that Porro was made for that wing. I really do. But if we see it or not, I don't know. But Kulu in the middle, I've been telling you that for a long time. He needs to be in the middle, not on the wing. So, yes, I'm very, very happy to see him in there. And I would say he's been one of the most consistent players this season. Not the consistent player. I think one of the consistent players.
Oh, who else, just out of interest, who else?
I think Maddison's been fantastic this season. I think that he's been he's got a bit of a raw shake off some people. If you watch the games, I think he's been really, really good. The old Madders this season. Obviously, Van der Ven. I think Porro's been good as well. So I wouldn't like to just single him out. So I think there's been some other players, but I think that Maddison's been fantastic this season.
Yeah, I think you're right in a sense that we kind of look to Maddison, and he does tend to get a rough ride. But I mean, particularly last game, I thought Maddison was excellent. But we are coming to the end of the show because the watch along has been put back to 7:45, but I like to give them plenty of time. Obviously, what we like to do at the end of the show is
no. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I got super kick. Got me hyped, man. Let's go.
Give our score predictions and our goal scorers, and I will try and bring up as many as I can as well. Bobby, I'm going to come to you first. What's going to be the score and who's going to be the scorers?
told you at the beginning of the show, I do believe this is not going to be an easy game. I do believe that we are writing these guys off too easily. They are number one in the league for a reason. They are consistently champions of their league for a reason. They do know how to play football. Regardless if we want to write off their league and don't think it's as competitive, we really don't know. We don't see them play enough. So I'm going to go with a very conservative scoreline. I'm going to go 4-1.
4-1. Okay.
Yeah,
And
4-1 to the Spurs. Just because I forget now who was it that put it in there, because I'm getting so excited now and talking about Mickey. But somebody had put in Sonny with the brace with his debut at the Lane. So I'm going to give Sonny a brace today again. I'm going to give I want to see Johnson get another one. I really do. I really want to see that kid get another one. You know, we talked about this kid. He's only a few years older than our kids.
Yeah.
And it's heartbreaking to see a boy like that walk off the field after scoring the game-winning goal with his head down. So I'd like to see Johnson one. And of course, just to get our bet and get that charity for the bench going, Solanke with the 4th. There you go.
Yes, I like it.
Right?
I like it.
I hope you're watching Joey Barton.
Yeah.
There it is,
Joe,
Edward.
Joe, say, what about yourself? Who's what's going to be the score and who's going to be the scorers?
As I said earlier, in all honesty, I just want a victory. I want them 3 points, put them on the board. I want everyone to come back and stay injury-free and have a full squad to pick from against Man United. And for the remainder of the season, I think we need a rub of the green when it comes to injuries, because last year we were really, really smashed by it. I'd quite happily take the 1-0 victory. You know, and but I know that people want us to win 4s and 5s. I'd happily take a 1-0. A victory for me at the end of the day is what it's about. It's about getting them 3 points on the board. But if you're going to ask me for a score, if Qarabag are late coming to the ground, that's going to put their preparations out of sync, and that they're not going to get much time to prep up. And if that's the case, I will go for. I'm going to go 3-0.
3-0.
Yeah, I'll go 3-0.
Who's going to be the scorer?
Mickey.
Brennan Johnson.
Mickey.
Yeah.
Mikey Moore.
Like it.
Got to put Mikey Moore in there. And just because he's sitting next to me and he's like giving me a nudge, I'm going to say Mickey van der Ven.
Hey!
I like that, baby. I like that.
Things you'd love to see. And Jimbo, going to come to you before I give my score predictions, because you always are very enthusiastic when you predict a score. So who is going to score tonight, and what's going to be the score?
I'm feeling a bit conservative tonight. Watching some of the people are saying in the chat about the bin bags. I'm gonna be a bit more conservative, and I'm gonna say 5-0.
5-0. Okay.
The Mighty Spurs.
For those that don't know, Jim, that is very conservative. Actually,
well, I'm being conservative to my normal.
That's like almost predicting a loss.
Let's be fair. For Joey Barton's sake, I kind of hope that Solanke scores all 5. But I mean, who do you fancy to score?
Just so the people in the chat know, someone called Joey Barton has got a bet with myself.
Not the real Joey Barton.
No, he's a Tottenham fan. Myself, Bobby, and someone else. Oh, is it Kate?
Rinketic.
Yeah, Rinketic.
Too, yeah.
A charity bet for a few quid that Solanke doesn't score 15 goals in all competitions, which I think is a crazy bet because he's going to score more. So I'm going to go with a Solanke hat-trick.
Yep.
Johnson to score 1, so he's scored 3 games on a row. And of course, the master of disaster, Sonny, is going to do a cutting on his right foot in the top corner.
There we go. Wow, everyone's very honoured because Ben and Sim are actually on the watch along tonight. So wow. Yeah. Make sure you don't miss that. I think that starts at 1:45. So it gives you time to finish up here, grab a cup of tea or a beer or whatever you can have, some crisps or some biscuits, because that's what I'll be doing. I'm getting the chocolate biscuits out, ready for the match. Nobody's predicted us to lose, which is always nice to see. I am going to go for 3-0. I am going for Johnson to get 2. Come on, Johnson. I'm rooting for you, young man. I really, really am rooting for you. And I'm going to go for the third goal to be scored by Bergvall. So it's a 3-0 victory for me. But I'll take anything. I just want us to win. It'd be great to have a comfortable win, but a win's a win at the end of the day. But then, obviously, we go on to Manchester United away at the weekend. So Kuva's saying a boring 7-3 written all over it. I wish And was more attacking. And Lee Smith 5-0 Archie to get the lot.
Yeah, please.
It would be, do you know what? Solanke to score. I don't mind if it's 5-0 and it's 5 own goals. Let's just win the game. But look, thank you so much to Jimbo, as always, Jose, Bobby K for joining me. Please do subscribe to their channels. I have been putting them in. I'll put them in once more. Jose's channel's here. Eltel Cockerell. Please go over and sub to Jose. It's a great channel and a great guy.
And you got to drop the fact that he does the predictions thing. And if there's anybody out there, you want to play a weekly predictions game, I challenge you all. There's about 800 of you here to find me somebody that does a better predictions thing than what Jose does over there. The amount of work the man puts in, the time and energy he puts in. I'm disappointed he doesn't accept my WhatsApp messages anymore for predictions, but that's something personal between us. But get on over, show some love to the guy, and definitely get in on this predictions games. It's fun. Last year we had like 140 people in there or something by the end, right?
Yeah.
So it's great, and it's great for the community, and it gives us all a little something internally to kind of to brag on each other about, right?
Exactly.
So sorry to cut you off, Kate.
Exactly. Also, sub to Bobby K, who's got the 3 Spurs boys, which he does with his two. Well, I was going to say 2 young men. It mainly his youngest one now, because the oldest one's moved out.
Moving away to college. I want to have a life. Whatever, man. Stay here and do also, YouTube with your dad. What's more important?
Exactly. Also, Kuva Bear. You can find Kuva 99 over there, and they're starting to do a lot more football stuff. So. You know, but it's a great channel and very, very funny channel and also informative too. Now that they've dropped the silliness sometimes and do actually
sometimes, I was going to say, don't expect us to do football stuff all the time, folks. It's not the way we roll.
Exactly. Wow, someone's saying they're 3-3 in extra time. Ange runs onto the pitch and smashes it. Top bins for the win. And apparently,
they delayed it that much.
Apparently,
because here it was showing 3:15 p.m., which is 8:15 p.m. So I thought they delayed it by a half hour.
Well, someone
it's on at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm waiting.
Someone in the chat not long ago said that Qarabag still hadn't arrived.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
I don't think it will be as late as 9. I think it will be earlier than that.
Do you think Levy made a traffic jam on purpose?
Maybe they've just bottled it. Maybe they've done an Arsenal. Every gunner's a runner. Every carrier bag's a runner.
Bin bag.
I can't find anything that rhymes with it. So, but Jimbo and I, you can find us over at Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs. If you do want to come over and subscribe, please, everyone, make sure you are smashing a like on the video and heading over to join Ben and Sim, the legends themselves, who will be doing the watch along. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us tonight. It's been an honour and a pleasure to have been allowed to host on this prestigious channel. And Cooper says our football on Free Spurs boys is so, but our lowdown on what's happening in Chakotiri Forest is second to none. Yeah. If you know, you know. And if you don't know, get to know.
Get to know and say hi to Jizzy on the way in.
Exactly. Listen, enjoy the game, everyone. Don't forget the watch along starts in 10 minutes. And also they've got a fan show after the game where you can get your opinions in. But as always, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.